Hey there, check this out.
Hello. This is Mary calling from Sunshine Law Firm. Could I please speak with Gavin?
That's me.
Hi, Gavin. I wanted to remind you about the task titled Send Statements from Witnesses, which is currently 3 days overdue. Are you on track to complete it soon?
Yeah, I should have that done by Monday afternoon.
Great. So you plan to have it done by Monday afternoon. Thank you for the update. If you have any further questions or run into any issues, feel free to reach out. Have a good day.
You too, have a good day.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Goodbye.
So that was an AI voice assistant that automatically reaches out to clients for law firms and reminds them of tasks that need to be completed relating to their case or whatever it may be. Before I show you how to build this automation for yourself, let's first look at what traditionally happens when clients need to be reminded of tasks and other things to do related to their case when they need to be updated for law offices. So typically for law offices and paralegals and lawyers, when it comes to reminding their clients to get things done, right? They typically the process would look something like this, right? That the client tasks to sign, whether it's get something notarized, collect a statement from someone, go submit something to the court, whatever it may be, um, and then they wait for the client to complete the task, right? And then after a certain amount of time, if there's no response received, then they have to manually start reminding them to get that thing done, right? And they typically would send an email or call them, and if they don't answer, which a lot of times they don't, they would just leave a voicemail and then probably have to call back the next day, right? So they would keep waiting, and then hopefully the task gets completed. If not, then they got to restart the whole process over and over again, right? And the more clients you have, the more time you have to devote to um, reaching out to them manually to remind them of these things, right? And only then, once these things are done, can you move on to the next step in the case. So you really have to wait for this to get done before you move on to anything else. And if we look at this diagram here, it's obvious that it's generally the paralegals doing all of this work, and it's not their only task uh, that they have to do, right? They have to do a lot of other things related to the cases, to drafting legal documents, meeting with clients, filing all types of court documents, and the manual follow-ups, which can come in many shapes and forms, right? So they got a lot on their plate, and if they can save a lot of time by not having to manually reach out every day to clients who don't want to do their things and their tasks and submit their documents, then it would really save a lot of headache for them. So here's a quick overview of the automation we're going to be building in a nutshell, okay? So it's an automation that automates this follow-up process, so it takes a lot off the plate of the paralegals or even the lawyers if they're working a small practice and they don't have anyone to help them, right? So what happens is an overdue task gets detected, right, by the automation, and the system is on. You can set the system to scan like once a day or however often you want it to go for, and then this when it recognizes an overdue task, it triggers an AI voice agent to call the client. Okay, and then what happens is did the client answer the call? If they did, the agent first confirms their identity, so they're not just handing out this privileged information to anyone willy-nilly, right? And then if the identity is confirmed, the agent will remind the client that the task is overdue, and it will figure out whether they need help completing it, they need more information, or hopefully they will get the commitment saying, okay, yes, I will complete this task by blah 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 this date. And then the case management system, which would be Clio in this case, it gets updated. So, and then this all gets logged and recorded, and notes are made, and staff is notified if there are any issues, right? And then this sort of system can really streamline the response and the follow up process for these paralegals. And obviously, if they don't respond, then you can schedule another call the next day, and also an email reminder, right? And this can all be automated to where the staff, the law staff, does not have to worry about it as much. And it's a pretty simple system. All we're going to be using is Vappy, which is a voice AI provider platform, Make, which is just an popular automation platform, and Clio, which is probably the most popular law case management software. So the first thing we're going to want to do is navigate over to Vappy.ai, and it's free to set up an account and start testing out creating assistants. But you just want to go up here, go over to assistants, go to create assistant, right? And then title your assistant, and then you want to just use a blank template for now, and then hit create assistant. So once you've created your assistant, you're going to be prompted to create the system prompt, which is going to be the main prompt that controls how your assistant behaves. And for this prompt, we're going to want to create a prompt for a caller, an outbound caller, right, that calls these clients and confirms with them their identity, and then reminds them of the tasks that need to be completed. So in this case, it would just be, hello, this is Mary calling from Sunshine Law Firm. Could I please speak with person's first name, right? That's the first message that the caller will say when the person picks up the phone. And then this main system prompt will tell the voice assistant how to act throughout the call, and what are the main variables that we need to look out for here and create. And yeah, so essentially how it would happen is, first, if it's reached the wrong person, it'll say sorry for the call or whatever, the wrong number, and it would end the conversation. And then if they are speaking to the correct person, then they would inform them about the overdue task and specify how many days it's overdue. And additionally, it would ask if the client is on track to complete the task, right? And it would tell them, the details of the task and how many days it's overdue. And if there are any questions the person has, all that information could be uploaded into the task description on Clio, so the voice assistant could tell them, hey, this is what you need to do. If you need help, go to this person, call this number, whatever. That can all be, programmed into the automation. And over here on the right, we're just going to be using GP4o cluster for the model, temperature 0.7, max tokens 250, provider OpenAI, okay? Transcriber, you can use DeepGram, English, model number 2. The voice, you can pick any voice. I like to use woman's voice, but you can pick any voice you would like. Functions, we don't need to worry about the custom functions right now, or the tools. These settings you can leave. The one thing you're going to need to put on here is the server URL from Make, and I'll show you how to set that up in a minute. This is where the URL that the end of call reports, which are going to be important, are going to be sent. So, and also just to make the automation work properly, you're going to need this URL, and I'll show you exactly how to set that up here in a second. And this is just an end of call message. And then for analysis, which would be, post call summaries, end of call reports, simple prompt here, just summarize the call in 2 to 3 sentences, and this will be used to be inserted into our Clio client management, so everything is known about what happens during the call and what things need to be addressed post call. And then this is probably the most important prompt here to make this work right, is we need to create structured data to extract from the calls, so the automation and the LLM will know what has transpired during the call and what post-call automations need to occur relevant to what has been said, whether the client has said, okay, I'm going to complete the task, or I don't know how to complete it, there's an issue, or if it's a wrong number, right? So we need to create these pieces of structured data so this information can be extracted later on for post-call automations to update our CRM in Clio. The first one we're going to want to create is issue raised, right? So if the client is expressed having an issue completing the task, set this field to whatever the issue was summarized, and this will be passed on to the team, okay, in Clio. And if the person contacted was not the intended client, leave as an empty string. And then our second structured data is going to be call finished unauthorized. So the call would be ended if the client or the caller is not the right person. It would just be a boolean set to true when the person is contacted is not the intended client, otherwise set to false. And then the last piece of structured data we're going to have is task completion date time commitment. And this is just the date and time when the client commits to completing the task. And it's saved to as close to what it was provided by the client, right? And this will be in natural language. So whatever they say in 3 days, in a day, Thursday at noon, however they say it. And I'll show you the prompts for all this in Make soon. Before I continue, if you're a business owner looking to leverage the power of voice AI systems to streamline your operations and communication channels, don't hesitate to book a free discovery call using the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insight into voice AI automation. Now back to the video. Okay, so here in Make, the first part of the operation is going to be Clio watching for overdue tasks, right? So if we go over to Clio, this task is overdue, right? The client, Gavin Saber, needs to send statements from witnesses regarding his work incident, right? Whatever that may be. And there's a description for what needs to be done. He needs to get the statements from the coworkers, including a notarization from a licensed notary. And we're going to set the date as, this is what, 4 days ago. Okay, so this task is overdue. And so this module, essentially, it's going to be an API call to our Clio account. And then it's going to be a get content type application / JSON, and then fields. This is all the things we're going to be want to get. Check and see if the status is pending, and then this we're going to want to check the days of which the task is overdue, right? So this checks anyway from 30 days ago to 3 days ago if there are uncompleted tasks, and if there are, they get returned. And I'll provide a link to the template for these automations in the description below, so don't worry about that. And then we're just going to want to iterate out this data so we can, we'll for sure have it all ready to use for later in the automation. And then this just gets the contact data from the assignee, because we're going to need that. We need the contact data to send all the relevant information back to VAPI for the assistant to use, right? So that's what's happening here. All this data, this is all the stuff that our get a contact pulled, and also the make an API call. It pulled all this data, and we're just going to insert that data here in the JSON that is sent back to VAPI. So this is when the call begins, when this happens, okay? And I'll show you a demonstration at the end of how everything works. But we send back the first name, the full name, description of the task, and the assignee ID, and the matter ID, which would be, probably the court case. It's just the matter. And then the primary phone number and name, so the number that's going to be called, right? So the second part of the automation is where the magic happens, okay? So after the call, depending on what happens, there's 3 different things that can happen. So first, this is the webhook I told you about earlier that we have to copy. So we're just going to copy. We would copy over this webhook. Head over to VAPI, and under Advanced, we go down to the server URL here, under Messaging, and we would paste that URL. So what's that doing is, when there's an end of call report after the call is concluded, between the caller and the voice assistant, all that information will get sent to that address to this module here, and then from there all that information will get passed down depending on what happens, right? And we have filters here set up. So all that information looks like it would be all this stuff here. So step by step, what's going on here is we have a filter here, making sure the only type of message that gets sent through is the end of call report, right? So right here, type, because there's other types. There can be updates during the call, right? Making sure it's a successful call or whatever happened. So we want to make sure only the end of call report gets passed through here. And then the first filter we have is if it's unauthorized. If it's not the right person that we're calling, the call gets ended. So if the structured data outputs true, like we set it up, then it will pass on to here. And then what happens is a note is created in Clio that says, hey, regarding this task, it was an unauthorized caller, the phone number may be incorrect. So this would alert someone, maybe the paralegal or someone that manages in the Clio, that there's an issue here that needs to be addressed, okay? And then it would just simply create a note and then create a task that needs to be addressed for the paralegal to maybe update the client information with the right number. The second thing that could happen is an issue gets raised by the client. So say we call the client, and then it's the right person, and we tell them about their task that needs to be completed, and then the issue gets raised saying, I don't know how to do that, blah blah blah, excuses. So what happens then is we have a filter here. So essentially, if the structured data returns anything greater than 0 characters, that means that there was an issue raised. If there's 0 characters, then that means there was no issue raised. It's not going to output anything. So we just have a filter for that. And then so if there's an issue raised, what happens is a note is created like before, when this time it says the customer name, the task relates to, and then the analysis, what is the issue raised. And then from there, another task is created. It says, client experienced issue with this task, and this would alert the paralegal or the staff member to reach out manually to the client and have that information fixed. And then our third and final pathway that can be taken here is if you call the client, there's no issue, and they say, yes, I'm going to have that done, or I've just done that, something along those lines. It would be classified as commitment obtained, and then we would have a simple filter here that says, like before, if the structured data piece task completion date time commitment is greater than 0, that means that commitment was obtained, and we can keep moving down the automation. And keep in mind that this is just one specific example of how you can set this up. You can change these filters and the events that happen post call depending on how your specific system, right? So this is not a set in stone thing. This can be optimized for your particular office or business. Commitment is obtained. Now we're going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to go create a completion module. And essentially what's happening here is we put in the time frame that the client has said that they will commit the task, and GPT will analyze that and put out a simple analyze the date and put out a simple whether it's for morning, we'll set the time to 10 a.m. If it's for afternoon, we'll set it to 4 p.m. And then if it's for evening, it'll be 6 p.m. and you can set this up however you like. But essentially, the GPT is just analyzing the natural language of the call and outputting that in a way that can be used later on to create tasks and notes for Clio. And then this just parses the date of the result, right? And here we have the note being created. And we just insert the task name, the customer name, the parse date, and then the summary of the call. So now we know in our system that the client is going to complete that task by this date, so we don't have to manually outreach them, and all we have to do is maybe send another automatic reminder or confirmation of completion to them. So now let's see the system in action, and I will show you each of the 3 different paths occurring in real time and how they update in the Clio software.
This is Mary calling from Sunshine Law Firm. Could I please speak with Gavin?
I think you have the wrong number.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Alright, so as you heard, I told the assistant that she had the wrong number. So what happened was the end of call report came in, it recognized it as unauthorized, and then a note was created and a task was created. So let's go over to Clio real quick. So under matters, we have the court case, right, that this is referencing, and then notes right here, this note that just came in, voice AI call, and then here we have a note that was created saying there was an unauthorized phone number that may be incorrect, right? And so someone in the watching Clio in the CRM would see this and update that. And then also a task got created here saying to check the phone number, right? Today's date, 20th. So now option 2.
This is Mary calling from Sunshine Law Firm. Could I please speak with Gavin?
Yeah, that's me.
Hi, Gavin. I'm calling to remind you that the task titled Send Statements from Witnesses is currently 3 days overdue. Are you on track to complete the task soon?
Yeah, I've been having some issues with that. I'm not really sure what to do.
No problem, Gavin. Let me provide some additional details about the task to help you out. You need to send the statements from your coworkers who were at the incident, including notarization from a licensed notary. The required documents should be in PDF format and sent via email to gavin@hyperautomate.ai. Is there a specific part of the task that you're having trouble with? If you could let me know, I can pass this feedback on to the team.
Yeah, as far as notarizing goes, I don't really know how to get things notarized.
I understand, Gavin. Getting documents notarized typically involves taking the documents to a licensed notary public, who will verify the identities of the signers and witness the signatures. You can usually find notary services at banks, law offices, and some shipping stores like UPS. Would you like me to pass this feedback along to the team to see if they can provide more specific guidance or assistance on getting the documents notarized?
Yeah, that would be great. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it without some more help.
I'll pass your feedback to the team so they can assist you further. Thank you for letting me know. Is there anything else I can help with for now?
That's it. I have to go.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day. Goodbye.
So, there was an issue raised during the call. I didn't know what a notary was or how to do it. So, that information got passed through here. And then let's go to Clio. matters, case, and then we have another note here, and it says the client doesn't know how to get documents notarized and needs more assistance with the process. And then it does a quick summary of the call, and then someone hopefully will be reaching out with me to help me hold my hand to figure out how to get documents notarized. And then we can check the tasks, and then again we have the an issue with the task, and so this could be assigned to your paralegal or whoever you want to on the staff, right, to get that sorted out. And now for the last option of how the call can go.
This is Mary calling from Sunshine Law Firm. Could I please speak with Gavin?
That's me.
Hi, Gavin. I'm calling to remind you about an overdue task. The task is titled Send Statements from Witnesses, and it's currently 3 days overdue. Are you on track to complete this task soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna have that done by Monday afternoon. I'm gonna go to the notary in the morning and get that sorted out.
Great, thanks for letting me know. So, just to confirm, you plan to complete the task by Monday afternoon, correct?
Correct, yes.
Thank you for confirming that. If you have any further questions or need assistance, please let us know. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Okay, so that worked as well. We obtained the commitment, ChatGPT analyzed it, set the date, and then the task and the note were created. So let's go check that in Clio one last time. So here's our note that was created in our case. And it says the commitment was completed to obtain by Monday, the 21st. And we have a summary of the call. And then we go over to the tasks. And then when our task gets created, all we get is a follow-up for making sure the task got completed, right, on Monday, tomorrow. And that can also be automated. That's it for this automation today. I appreciate you guys for watching. All the templates and the prompts for this automation are going to be in the description below, so make sure to check that out if you want to build this for yourself. And if you want more content and insight like this into voice AI automation, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks and have a great day.